wrestling time. Time to talk about wrestling. It's Tuesday night. We watched Raw. I actually felt like I didn't have to sprint through all of this week's content because I kind of chipped away at it over time. Even watched BTE.
Wasn't it nice? We have our Discord server. We were chatting it up with the folks who were watching with us live. We were doing Raw. We'll probably hang out and do NXT tonight and, watch NXT on the Discord. It's in the chat, but not in the chat, but it's in the description of the video as the Discord server. If you're not already there, come and join us. Tim, how are you?
Pretty good. Feeling pretty good.
Are you ready for a week?
Yeah, I'm ready for a week.
Wrestling.
It feels like it's later than Tuesday, but it is Tuesday.
It feels like Tuesday 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get down to it. First of all, you know who we are. It's Tim and Joel Call It in the Ring. We're here every single Tuesday night, 7 p.m. before NXT. We also do SmackPack. SmackPack's where we talk about SmackDown. For the foreseeable future, we talk about AEW because it keeps showing up on Friday nights.
Ruining our plans.
Impact, and a little bit NXT UK when it's important. This week, a little more important because you've got Kaylee Ray and Meiko Satomura. We'll probably talk about that match or whatever really cool stuff happens. Anyway, that comes to you Sunday at noon Eastern because I need to be hungover to talk about wrestling.
That's fair.
Like most people, Hello to the chat. How you doing? Let's go. We've got a lot to talk about. You can like the video, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Let's talk about the draft.
Oh, let's go. All right. What are we talking about with the draft? There's going to be a draft.
Andrew Zarian from Matt Men Podcast, who's been getting some stuff right, by the way, says that the draft is coming. It'll be Monday Night Raw August 30th and carried over to SmackDown September 3rd. So a week of drafting. There's a positive. No last-minute brand warfare this year because last time the draft was in, October? And then we went into Survivor Series and suddenly people who just moved suddenly were like, I love SmackDown, but you were on Raw last week.
Yeah,
anyway.
That was awkward. It was an awkward time.
And there's potential for new faces because we are in a pretty close to post-pandemic USA at least. So there's a potential for NXT call-ups and NXT UK call-ups. So I could look forward to certain things about the draft coming into fruition. We have negatives.
Yeah, obviously. I mean,
people will
a draft.
They'll give more passes to WWE for poor creative decisions because they still exist no matter what. We'll get into Raw. There was some really good stuff, some really bad stuff, some controversial stuff, a whole lot of everything. Got your Lily stance.
Great
Excuse
stuff.
Me. And Raw is still 3 hours.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The topic of conversation that we came up with is the idea of moving Roman over to Raw. Is that a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Is it a possibility? What do you think? Do we have Roman move over to Raw?
What do they say? August is when they're doing this? Yeah, the end of August.
Very end.
I mean, yeah, they could totally do it. I think that gives enough time to spread out the Jimmy storyline in a timeline that isn't rushing it, which will be good to see. And then I would hope that where they go is that if they do choose to have Roman transition, that he uses his head of the table clout to get everyone, over with him, right? Jimmy and Jay. So I think that could be a cool angle. Do some stuff there. New Raw competitors.
Now, SmackDown's been the through thread for the tribal chief, easy for me to say. It's been every single week, like you said, Jimmy, Jay, Roman, the opponents. It's been all woven through SmackDown, and that's a 2-hour show. The reason why I'm saying maybe they'll move them to Raw is because it's a ratings boost. It is an interesting story, probably one of very few going on in WWE right now. And you're going to take it to the flagship, the 3-hour show, as we get closer to another year of not restructuring, but TV talk, because we're going to have to start starting to re-up for TV content rights fees. So is there a possibility for Roman? Sure. Like you said, it's got to be made important. It's got to be right. Do you flip the champions? Do you put Bobby or Drew, because we know that Hell in a Cell, there's a championship, and there's a lot of time between now and August 30. Do you put the WWE champion on SmackDown and the Universal champion back on Raw?
Yeah, I think that would be okay. Like, I don't think it's like vital that they do it, but it would give Roman a bit more breathing space with the time, like the extra hour, so that they can do a little bit more. But it depends on where they are in the story by then, right? Like it maybe they've tapped out and there isn't, enough that they really need 3 hours of room to work with on that. So it'd be fine. I don't know. Maybe Bobby. I don't know what they're gonna do with the Raw title or whatever the hell it's called. Universal. Which one's the which? WWE.
The heavyweight title is Bobby Lashley's title. The Universal Championship is Roman Reigns. As I call it, the Blue Universal Championship.
Yeah, okay, good. That's a good way to remember, a little mnemonic there.
Yes. So if we move Roman over to Raw and we move the WWE champion, whoever it may be, over to SmackDown, it does another thing as well. Obviously, other people will switch brands, but you've got Roman right now having gone through most of the top contenders in a meaningful story over on SmackDown.
Yeah, which, I mean, it still feels weird because there's so few wrestlers on the main program. But yeah, that's not an incorrect statement. Like, who's he going to face? Sammy?
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? They're about to do a program with Ray, which we called, by the way.
Yeah.
So they're about to do that match, and I think it'll be a good match. But again, the build is based around the Usos and Roman and their little... their toxic relationship, and then Dominic and Ray have joined the fold just by virtue of the tag team titles being around their waist and not around the Usos' waist.
Yep.
So it's, again, we're finding reasons for Roman to be mad. They're making it make sense to a certain degree, but we're getting a little low on the totem pole of people he can justifiably beat up and make it look good.
Yeah, I mean, there's people there, but they have done no work to get them where they need to be to make that make sense yet. Like the next competitor, I think, is going to be Jimmy. Maybe we get main event Jimmy. Hopefully, I really think that would be the right direction to take it. Like, kind of repeat what they did with Jay.
So that's really interesting that you mentioned that, because at the end of my notes for Raw, I bring up the Money in the Bank because we're getting to that point. That's next month's pay-per-view after we get through Hell in a Cell, which is in a couple of weeks now. So my question to you would have been, and we'll get there. I think we'll still talk about Raw first, and then we'll get there. But think about the Money in the Bank and where we could end up at the end of, well, I guess the middle of July, knowing that a draft is coming at the end of August. And I am 99.99% sure that WWE has not even thought about that, let alone what happens on, the 1st of July after, or the 21st of June, I should say, after the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know that they've planned out that far ahead.
I doubt it, because, and again, the conversation has always been, they're saving it for this, they're saving it for that, they're saving it for when we go back on the road, they're saving it for SummerSlam, they were saving it for WrestleMania in front of the fans, right? And then that didn't happen.
I don't think they save anything. I think they just do whatever they feel the need to do. Like, there's nothing, they're not storing away the good shit. Like, there is just not that much good shit.
And I'm seeing in the chat, Seth and Roman has to happen. I agree. I would like to see Seth and Roman. And you know what? I also think that Seth would move over back to Raw. I think that might be what they do with him. Or if they don't do that, they put Roman on Raw. They keep Seth on SmackDown and let Seth elevate to the point where that maybe becomes a match later down the line, so that they've teased it. And when Seth becomes a good guy again, Seth and Roman becomes a bigger match.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of work to do if you're going to do that before. Like, okay, they could have done it with that weird heel face off, but they chose not to, and so we've walked away from that at this point. So
yeah, and we talked about it on SmackPack this past week, and we probably will again, that SmackDown has become the home of everyone going absolutely insane.
Yeah, they're all slowly dissolving into just a puddle of screeching weirdos.
Yeah, even the mid card, even the lower card, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Speaking of screeching weirdos, let's talk about it. Last night's Raw. No, like I said, we were in our discourse. We were having our Discord chat in our Raw section, and we got to the main event, and we watched Lily and Alexa and Shayna, and we've seen since then the conversations that have emerged on the internet by all the pundits and the analysts and the conversations. And I'm going to preface our chat, Tim. I'm going to preface it with this. There's nothing wrong with critiquing. There is nothing wrong with wanting better. But I really hope that the people who listen to the Wade Kellers, the Dave Meltzers, the Sean Ross Sapps, the Denise Salcedos, the Nick Housemans, the Steven Larsons, I hope that the people who are listening to those podcasts, the Ollie Davis for our friends across the pond, I hope the people who are watching those conversations also give themselves time to maybe watch pieces of Raw and not just go by the opinions of those who are talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that
going to
was
tell you that Raw's good. I'm not going to
No.
tell you that Raw's good. But I am going to tell you that it's subjective because it's art, and some things are good and some things are not so good. Let's talk about this. This was a bad B movie horror film.
Yeah, like, yeah, it was. Of course it was. What did you expect?
It's wrestling. It's poor acting. That's fine. I laughed. I had a good laugh.
I thought it was hilarious. There was some Phantom of the Opera vibes in there with the rigging coming down. Like, I watch wrestling for this stupid shit. This is why I watch it more than anything. Like this, then the athleticism. Like, not, and I've said it before, not a single bit of it is serious sport. Like,
yes,
this doesn't even.
Agreed.
I didn't even register this as like really like out there in terms of insane shit, because to me how people reacted to this is how normal people see wrestling at all times. Like, I literally, when I start to criticize like a pulpy television thing, like reality TV, like stuff that I'm not a huge fan of, I have, since I started doing this, continually stopped myself from doing it, because I have no right to criticize literally any other television program, because wrestling is on the bottom of all of it. Like, it is a soap opera and somehow dumber.
We are not.
And it always has been. It always has been.
Yes, and we can pull examples in a second.
Yeah.
We as wrestling, as human beings, we are intelligent people. As wrestling fans, we're not always the most intelligent people. No. Sometimes they play it to the lowest common denominator, which I don't really love. Yeah. But I see people in the chat talking about it's not the worst ending ever, and I agree with that. This was not the worst ending ever. It was silly, and I think that a lot of people are down on, and I told you this offline, I think a lot of people are down on the Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton stuff because it came out after Mania that there was no plan in place.
Yeah, which is a shame. That's very disappointing.
And then because of that, a lot of the conversation becomes, well, if they don't know and they don't care, then why should we care? And that's right. I agree with that. But that doesn't mean everything week to week is being told without any idea of what's going on next.
What I would say, I don't really understand why people didn't know that this was the end result. Like, this is in no way different from anything that Bray did at all. Like, he had puppets. Like,
yes, he did. And also,
what is the difference?
The problem with Bray right now is just that he came back and then hasn't been on TV since.
Yeah, which is disappointing. But like, it's supernatural shit in wrestling. Look at 75% of the Undertaker's career. Like, yes. So many people have been buried alive, and then just shown up later. Why is it? Exactly. Why is AJ Styles? He's holding a title right now. Man died.
We're gonna have to edit out all my coughing off camera. Holy crap! Sorry, folks. I muted it here, but man, yeah. Our audio content's gonna need some work.
It's okay. It'll spike.
Sorry, buds. Yeah. So, do I expect anything out of this whole storyline? No.
Not really.
do I love the chicanery and absolute insanity and a cat behind you just going ham? I love it. Yeah, I do expect a little chicanery, and that's fine. It's fun. It's wrestling. I don't take it seriously because this goes back to our conversation from weeks ago where we mentioned that there are people who are sports fans and wrestling fans and see wrestling as sport. There are wrestling fans who are art fans or movie fans exclusively. Like, their fandom is more to one than the other, and as a result, it impacts their vision of wrestling. So with that, do we agree that Lily inhabits Shayna and then they win the tag titles?
I think that sounds awesome. Sure, why the hell not? That sounds funny to me. And at least Shayna gets to do something. Is it better than being with Nia? Not necessarily. But it's something, I guess. It's continuing to be on TV, and like, a lot of people seem to really love Shayna, so get you some Shayna and be happy about it.
And again, maximizing your minutes. She's doing it. She was just in the main event segment of Raw. And guess what? She didn't have to scream like a banshee, but she certainly got it off that she was scared of a doll, like people are scared of Chucky.
Yeah.
And no one complains about Chucky when they're chasing after, or when he's chasing after them. It's Phil.
Yeah.
Silly.
It's silly. It's always been this way. It's just funny to me that the extreme outrage, and I was like, I don't know. This is basically par for the course. It has been for 30 years. Like,
RASSLIN, that's wrestling. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Drop us a comment if you feel so inclined.
I'm sure people have some comments.
I know. And it doesn't have to be in the chat. You can leave it in the comment section here, because that gets our video out into people's algorithms and conversations. Let's talk Eva Marie. She's part of my conversation. Tim, we did it again.
Yep. Another package. Called it.
We were told Piper Niven.
Yeah. That's what we're
Mercedes
calling.
Martinez. Or Mercedes Martinez.
Well, it's Piper, I think, but well.
The only reason Mercedes Martinez would work is because she has a match against Xia Li the night before at In Your House,
True.
which is this Sunday. And if Eva Marie is making her debut, quote unquote, next week, then that's the reason I see Mercedes Martinez. I'm still sticking with Piper Niven.
Yeah, because she's been nowhere to be found. So
Could be both. They could debut them as
both.
a tag team.
Thought of that too, yeah.
So these two names alone just reassess what people have been saying, okay? They've been saying that, oh, Eva Marie's coming in. They think she's a face. She's a heel, man. They're bringing in heels. The music and the presentation, it's just the same thing where Eva Marie is coming in thinking that she is this, like, everybody loves me. I'm completely oblivious to all the hatred.
The
She's gonna be
WWE
a heel.
universe made it happen.
It's amazing. I think next week, though, when she makes her quote-unquote debut, it's going to be a segment of her coming out, not having a match, and saying, I came here, but I didn't come alone. You'll find out next week who that is.
Oh my God, yeah, you're probably right about that. I thought it was happening this week, and then we got another package delaying it to next week, and it's just like it's a lot. It's a lot of dragging this out. They're really they feel strongly about whatever they got going on, or they're waffling because they don't know what they're going to do, and they're making it up as they go, which is just as possible.
Again, going back to Andrew Zarian from Matman, he said that she'll be back the night after Hell in a Cell on June 21st. And it's possible that, I'm saying it's possible, again, that she returns alone next week. And then she says, you know, I'll be back next week with my friends or whatever it is. And then, or they can build to a match at one-on-one and she replaces herself last minute with Piper or Mercedes.
Yeah, could be.
I like it. I like the tag team battle royal. I didn't like the 20 minutes before the battle royal, but I like the Viking Raiders getting that win. It made the most sense given the case of a battle royal.
Yeah, and they can do a little bit of a lighthearted feud again, which I think the Viking Raiders seem to have settled into pretty well. AJ and Almost, same thing. Like they're kind of a comedy duo, so it's working pretty well. Their timing is funny. Like I enjoyed the backstage or after, and them saying, "This is what we wanted." You're like, not real Vikings, because you know, they aren't. I don't know what would be.
Whole thing is, the whole tag division is comedy at this point.
Yeah, I mean, but it often has been. Like, you know, it's Vince.
Yeah, slow-mo Miz in a wheelchair was absolutely a highlight. I had a good laugh. There were some people who were real down on that, and I was sitting there saying, no, this is comedy.
Honestly, I thought that Raw last night was pretty good. It wasn't a bunch of the same match over and over and over again. And Drew cut a table in half with his sword. What do you want?
We'll get to that in one sec because I have that. Grand Metalik is injured. The Miz is injured. Why didn't they have Lindsay Dorado and John Morrison team up? That would have been a little easy. Miz could have been like, hey, Lindsay, why don't you team up with my boy? He'll take you to the promised land. And then he'd do something. Have Lindsay and Jomo have a match next week on Raw just to be a blow-off little thing. Like, why not do that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Even extending like a little bit of like Lucha House Party and Miz and Morrison synergy, like short-lived, I think would be fun. And you eat up some of that 3 hours that you got to fill. So
exactly. Drew cuts a table in half, tells a story about a Scotsman. I wasn't paying much attention.
I went super cross-eyed when he started talking about Robert the whatever. I was like, I don't care about Scottish history.
I had tuned out. I'm sorry. I couldn't. And I was just like, this guy's the face, and I can't. And the only thing I took
He
from it
did
was
not deliver it well. It was so dry. I was just like,
no.
and he was sitting down. He was sitting while he was telling it, and I was like, yeah, this is not the energy I need right now.
Never trust a topless man in a kilt sitting at a table.
Yeah, like I said, tits out for paperwork.
So all I want is this is going to be a Hell in a Cell match. It's going to be Drew's last chance to win the WWE Championship. If Drew loses, great. We move on for a while. Maybe he gets drafted to SmackDown in August, but then we got to deal with Money in the Bank, or we got to give him, again, going back to the Sheamus idea, but I think Sheamus is reserved for somebody else in the meantime, and we'll get there very shortly. What do you do with Drew? Does he win the title? Does he win the title at Hell in a Cell so that when fans come back for Money in the Bank and the Raw before, they're all happy-dappy? What do you think?
I wouldn't count it out as like a make good for the weird swap in the cell last year with Randy. All right, because he got it. What did he get it back, or did he lose it at Hell in a Cell last year?
He lost the title to Randy at Hell in a Cell,
so
and then won it back at the ambulance match. If I remember.
Yeah, and he's doing the same. He's doing what Randy did and saying like, "I've been in the cell. You've never been in the cell," and now he's doing that to Bobby. So I don't know. I could see them doing that, especially how like I don't. As high as they are on Bobby, I have a feeling that they maybe aren't fully behind him as like a long-term champ, because they've never really been fully behind Bobby, period. So
if the rumors are true, let's say that both champions remain on their respective brands. You send Drew over to SmackDown and he feuds with Roman.
Yeah.
That works as well. Because it sounds like our buddy Brock Lesnar is coming back.
Okay.
Brock and Bobby. Brock and Bobby is a match that everyone wants to see because of the power game, the big two big meaty men slapping meat idea. I like that. So my conversation at that point becomes, oh, there you go. He beat Randy at SummerSlam in the ambulance match. He lost to Hell in a Cell and won it back at Raw before Survivor Series. Sure. Yeah. Either way, there was a drop and a retention or a regaining of the title. The real conversation here becomes, where does Brock fit in to this whole thing? Because Drew and Brock,
yeah, I don't want to watch that at all. Yeah, I mean,
we
have seen it, kind of in the way that Brock does WrestleMania,
and we've been waiting for Bobby and Brock for years now.
Other people have been. I as soon as someone's done with WWE, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't like the part-timer thing at all. Like I'm not. I loved Brock. I watched Brock during his heyday. I don't care when people come in and out. I completely lose interest.
There's a lot of part-timers that might be coming to SummerSlam. So
I bet there is. Like, people love that. And, whatever. More power to them. It's just, I'm not going to get that excited. I'll be like, oh, cool. Brock's going to do the highlight reel and then piss off for 6 months again.
They've got a giant stadium to fill as well.
Yeah, which, they're going to do what they need to do.
Now, my A1 was MVP and Kofi having a conversation backstage.
It was so very good. Yeah.
It was real. It called back to their past, both known and unknown to the fans. And I like it. Kofi Mania was everything, and then it abruptly ended.
Yeah, I love that they're actually talking about it and making it a thing. And I'm curious what they do with Kofi with it.
But they're saying it ended because of Brock. They didn't say it. They're dropping that little
I know.
hint.
I got it too.
Does MVP manage? That's what I'm getting at. So,
yeah, I picked it up when he was putting it down. I was like, yeah, okay, bro.
You know it's happening.
I know.
I like the one thing I really like that maybe people didn't get is when MVP started talking about shucking and jiving, which is very much like a racist black term if you go back far enough in culture. And he just like that set Kofi off, and also because the New Day had been called, they're just shucking and jiving. That's their whole gimmick. Blah blah blah. Like. Yeah, I don't need to tell you what it means. But the point was, it set off Kofi, which I love. And then MVP just cuts him right down by saying, Lashley fights for the WWE title and all that comes with it. That's better than him saying he's a prize fighter and wants the money.
Yeah.
I was all for that.
Yeah,
a good promo.
I thought it was really, really good. And I honestly kind of expected... I thought that they might be going a different direction with this, and I thought that what might end the show is Kofi getting real serious, but maybe not. So
What's not serious? Jackson Riker's haircut. Oh boy.
Give
or
up. Just
face turn.
shave it bald, man. I've been there. Give up. It's gone.
It's like Road Warrior Hawk.
God.
Just the two. Oh God.
Take
they think that
nothing
man's
there.
a face. They think he's a good guy. They think he's going to be a face because he was USMC. What is wrong with this? Poor Elias.
Yeah, I don't know, because like it's still, I don't know. And they still made the walk. They made the piped in chants do the walk with Elias thing.
Oh, they always do that. It's hilarious.
I know, but like, is he a bad guy or not? Is he just nagging an entire audience into doing what he wants? Like, that's ridiculous.
He's a musician, Tim. Think of your favorite musician and think of your least favorite musician. Someone always cheers your least favorite musician as well.
Yeah, I know.
They're always fans.
Which is fine. It's just like, just do it the first time. Don't make him go, wait, what was that?
Do they wrap this whole thing before the crowds come back? What do you think? This Elias and Jackson Riker thing.
Yeah, I don't see it going on that long.
I'd be surprised.
Probably a one and done.
You know what else is a one and done?
Jeff Hardy finally getting a win?
No, that's next, damn it. Although that is another one. No, our one and done. It's not really one and done, but also like the video. I don't want to do it anymore. Can they coexist? Yeah, the answer was no.
They couldn't. No.
Charlotte and Rhea taking on Nikki and Asuka. Nikki Cross. By the way, when Nikki Cross.
Thank
you.
Let's do the little bumps. Oh, God.
She says she has a partner who wears a cape and a mask, and I'm like, oh my God, Mighty Molly. It's gonna be Molly Holly, and then
you knew damn well it wasn't gonna be.
No, because she just had a tryout as a producer, so I was like, oh, bring her on screen. Why not? No, not what they did, and then the distraction finished, and it was dumb, and that was it.
Yep.
Cool. I mean, I don't know if he called it a distraction finish.
Wait, what happened at the end? How'd the
Charlotte got involved, laid out Rhea, and then.
No, and then yeah, I mean that's just the classic "can they coexist" finish.
Yes, that's a good point. And yes,
it's become
Rhea
its own
patting
thing.
Charlotte's head to tag in was very funny, very memeable.
Yeah, it was good. Very good.
There you go. It's not a distraction finish, but it was a dumb finish. Okay, but the good news is from the bits and pieces from Raw, Mansoor continued to gain wins. I like it. The match was good for a short TV match against Drew Gulak. I like the reversal into the pin. It was a very crisp, easy match. Like you said, Jeff Hardy is back, and he's the locker room leader.
He won a match.
And he won a match. I don't know what they're going to do with Cedric Alexander now. I assume he'll not be humbled and start going after the same people.
Still going to be Shelton. They're going to have a match on a pay-per-view. Swear.
Apparently Shelton was on main event this week. Good for him.
Oh, good. Did he get a win too?
I didn't pay attention. Sheamus is looking menacing with a face mask in his coat, just being like, don't look at me.
His hair is so bad when it's not done. Like, it looks so cool when it's done up, but it's so dorky when it's not.
Every few years, someone has to wear that stupid "my nose is broken" face mask. And
I've seen people with broken noses. I've never seen anyone ever wear a mask like that.
It's
an athletic
face mask.
Yeah.
Exactly. Scott Steiner wore it for a time in WCW. It was very funny.
I just don't even see how it would protect you all that much. If your nose is messed up, that mask is still going to squish up into your nose. Like, I guess it doesn't. No, it'll still turn. It doesn't make a damn bit of sense to me. But I'm not a physician
It's molded and kept in place if you need to take any bumps. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So let's talk Money in the Bank real quick, and then we'll move on. So I no longer think it's Matt Riddle who's going to win the Money in the Bank. It's no longer Money in the Bro.
Good.
I haven't seen Damian Priest in a while, and assuming that he doesn't defeat Sheamus at Money in the Bank for the U.S. title, does Damian Priest become Archer in the Bank?
I think that'd be really good. I think he'd be really exciting in that match. Definitely as a contestant, entrant, one of them. Participant.
To give you a badge too.
Yeah.
Anyway, Damian Priest could be the guy. They've been talking about pushing him up the card for a while. That's a good way to do it. Unfortunately, the Money in the Bank is usually saved for someone who's a bad guy because of the cash-in ramifications.
Like Otis, yes.
Yes, like Otis. Well, you know what happened when Otis.
Yeah, exactly. They had to figure out how to fix their harebrained idea because Vince was feeling the gag for a month.
If you really want to mess shit up, you do Money in the Bank. You have Drew loses at Hell in a Cell. Drew wins at Money in the Bank, and then the next month, after Brock pins Uh, Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. Drew takes out new champion Brock Lesnar. Becomes champ. I just ruined everything. I'm sorry.
Sounds so boring.
Women's Money in the Bank. What do you think?
Oh yeah, there are women.
More there than there are in other companies. Tell you that.
Okay,
much.
in July.
Yes.
Asuka's involved.
Yeah.
Did they call anyone up? I don't know. You're just gonna see the same cast of characters. You could have Alexa Bliss like on the outside doing weird shit.
I see some people in the chat mentioning Sasha Banks. Charlotte was another one. Sonya Deville. I don't know if Sonya is going to be back that quickly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Piper Niven would be another one.
Yeah, like whoever
there.
Eva ends up with is almost certainly.
Have that be the build. Eva Marie then telling Piper it's our Money in the Bank briefcase. And Eva Marie takes the briefcase from Piper and inevitably wins the Raw Women's Championship.
Oh.
I'm here to ruin everything.
That's
Tim.
not bad. I mean, it's not good, but it could happen.
Let's give you a Dynamite preview. We'll cover the actual Dynamite on Sunday at SmackPack at noon Eastern. Last week, we saw the Young Bucks versus Pac and Penta. This week, we see the Young Bucks adding Brandon Cutler to the mix to take on Pac Penta and Eddie Kingston coming in. Kingston, by the way, joining Pac and Penta because Phoenix is injured and Mox is waiting for his wife to give birth. Good timing.
Hooray! They did do a good job on BTE setting up what happened on that. I watched it after the fact. I know we talked about it on Sunday, but it was very good. Very good.
I really liked BTE. I agree with you. They did a really good job. They explained Cutler being very reluctant to cheating. And I think little things like that go a long way when it comes to storytelling.
Yeah, by Sunday, I mean last night. But yeah.
Lance Archer's in action this week. He's probably going to squash someone. Is it time
That's
to get
what it
rid of
means.
What do you think? Is it time to get rid of Jake?
I don't know. He's fine. What he's not. He doesn't do that much. He's just there. What's wrong with it? Does he want to go? If he wants to go, he can go.
Who's the heel? What's Lance Archer doing?
I don't know. What has he ever done? He's been just doing whatever back and forth.
Now,
if he's gonna go heel, Jake can go heel with him.
True. I mean, Jake's always a heel. He's just a little baby bird. So Andrade as the first feud. Maybe not. No. The only reason I put it in is because I think of the interactions between Jake Roberts and Vicky Guerrero.
No, don't. I don't want that.
And also Lance Archer taking Big L's has kind of become a thing, so maybe not. Instead, Darby Allin, Lance Archer taking on Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky. That's what I can see.
Yeah, totally.
And Sting just taking a back seat whenever. Speaking of which, Darby and Sting spoke last week, so this week they're making an announcement. I congratulate them. It's Pride Month. Their pending nuptials will be great. It's announcement week 2021, Tim.
Yeah. What do they have to announce? I don't.
We'll find out because you know what? Someone else is making an announcement.
Yeah, I know this one.
Cody Rhodes is going to save the world. Yeah, anyway.
Hopefully it's just a big old apology.
I'm sorry for everything.
Who I am.
The American hero. He's going to become the American dream one more time to take on the Bulgarian folk hero Miro, I assume. And then let Miro defeat Cody for the heaping amount of heat that he won't actually get because it's not going to be anything. People don't care. And then Cody takes time off because his wife gives birth. Even though they've said, Cody's not going to take time off for paternity leave. Whatever, sure. I just put it, if I had a censor button, I'd do it right now to do the let him be effing off more than anyone ever needed to F off in the history of effing off. I'd use that. Moving on. Miro gave us the best promo last week on Dynamite. John Silver and Uno and the Dark Order gave us a good promo last week on Dynamite. Miro versus Uno for the TNT title. Tim, I know you think Uno's going to win this match.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, with all the training that they were doing, I'm sure he can withstand the Cobra Clutch. Or wait, what is it? It's a Cobra Clutch.
The Accolade.
Yeah, the Accolade. Okay.
The Game Over is what it's called now.
Game Over.
Because he likes video games. Miro does.
That's the gag. Yeah.
That's the gag. Yes. Miro being as dominant as possible is fine with me.
Yeah, same. Uno will be fun to watch get eaten alive.
Didn't Uno beat Danny Limelight on Dark Elevation the other night. There you go. So
give
Uno
him
does
some
have
credibility as a threat.
There you go. So Uno does have a win in 2021. Last week, Christian Cage teamed up with Jungle Young Adult to take on Private Party. Yes, we've leveled up Jungle Boy because he won the Casino Battle Royal. He's now Jungle Young Adult, JYA, if you will. They took on Private Party last week. This week, Christian Cage takes on Angelico, as paid for by Matt Hardy. We're getting to Cage versus Hardy. Sure. What's the
Remember, like, I still don't understand why Butcher, Blade, and Bunny are with Matt when they had TH2 ready to go.
One paid less than the other.
Didn't even drop it. Yeah, like
I don't know what to tell you, man.
It's weird. All of Matt Hardy's endeavors are weird to me. But yeah, fine. It's an interesting pairing we're gonna watch.
What if the it's not a swerve, but what if it's really Miro versus Christian Cage for the team?
I think that'd be good. I think we should get there sooner rather than later.
And Matt Hardy is just sending mercenaries to take on Christian Cage because the match, I assume it all out, will be Christian Cage and Matt Hardy, or it'll be at 100%. One of the like big specials, one of the Saturday night whatever TNT TBS specials. Yeah. And it'll be a good match because the two, they know how to work. They know each other well, so why not? It needs to build to something, and there needs to be some stipulation on it because otherwise it's just a match. But
maybe. I mean, it'd be fine.
Again, they're building it well.
Two legends, right? So
yeah, I guess it can work. Last week, the Inner Circle took a victory lap. This week, the Pinnacle speaks. I was about to say the Pinnacle takes a victory lap.
This has been not quite. It's been back and forth for like 6 weeks. It feels like.
Yes, it has. It's just got to be better than that promo from Inner Circle last week. Very low bar.
Yeah.
I want MJF to take the microphone and say, "Everybody, look under your chairs," and it's Rusty Nails because he's a heel.
I mean, liability concerns aside, that would be pretty good.
Just little stupid. It's just, it's razor blades. What the hell is this? Everybody get your tetanus shots on the way out. Benevolent heel. This week, Hangman, Adam Page, and Dark Order's 10 take on Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs. So Cage and Hobbs just tagged on Dark Elevation this past week. They had a good match. They won. Cage isn't apparently leaving Team Taz.
Nope. Guess not.
But I'm starting to think that maybe they're going to have Ricky Starks, when he comes back from injury, get the boot from Team Taz.
Yeah. For
not embracing the vision of Team Taz.
I mean, that's fine. You got two enormous dudes together. Cage and Hobbs, I think, make a good tag team. There's a lot of potential with like mixing those two, I think.
Tim, they have Cage and Hobbs and Hook.
Yes, and
Hook, let me talk to you, bud. You were wearing a hat on Elevation. You look good. Hook, you looked good. Just keep doing you, Hook. Don't open your mouth. Don't speak up.
We need to stop talking about Team Taz.
You do you, Hook. I need someone to join them as a fourth because there's got to be someone. But like, who do you do more muscle? Is it Zicky Dice? Zicky Dice joining Team Taz will be fun.
I don't know who the hell Zicky Dice is.
He's outlandish. That's what he is, and he's very entertaining.
I mean, it would be funny to have Lil Taz and then just like 3 huge dudes and Hook.
Hook, let me talk to you.
Oh my God.
I just typed in the chat HPPL. I meant to say Hook. Oh, I'm sorry, chat. We're off the rails here. Content. Okay. Let's talk about NXT. It starts in 20 minutes, and so do we. Triple threat. Welcome back, baby. As expected. That's what we talked about on our thing. Yes, Adam Cole was a good babyface promo now.
Is that what he is? Is he babyface?
Just saying.
He's feeling kind of tweenery because he's pretty arrogant in this. Standing up on the table was kind of a lame looking move.
Well, call in your house my favorite burger joint because we're going to do a main event with Five Guys. And I'm
Five Guys. Cross wants the Five Guys.
4 men in there making the 5th man, the champion, look good. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the right direction, I think. Because, like, you've had everyone kind of win and lose over each other. who isn't Cross. So like I think this makes the most sense because there's no clear front runner at all. So they did a good job getting to here, I think. And I like matches like this once in a while, you know?
Now, it's looking like Cross retains, and we'll give our predictions on SmackPack because In Your House is this Sunday. But I have a feeling that at the next takeover, the SummerSlam weekend one, Cross will drop the title and be put into the WWE draft.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're gonna have to decide who they want to take over though, because I don't think it's really any of these guys. Like maybe Dunn.
Kyle O'Reilly or Pete Dunne could be the guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Johnny as champion was a small thing that lasted once upon a time. Speaking of Johnny Gargano, it's the battle of the underlings because Oney Lorcan and Austin Theory, they shared words last week after the big schmoz finish to the main or to the opening contest. So now they're going to have a match. They had a breakup segment that was posted on the internet earlier today. So it'll be a fun match. I'm sure Lorcan and Theory will have a good one.
Yeah, be fine.
What do you think of last week's Legado del Fantasma and MSK main event?
Loved it. Loved a lot of it. Great stuff. Fun match.
I had a hard time getting into it.
What? You're crazy. It was really, really good. I don't know. It feels like I'll give you that MSK kind of hits the same notes every time, but at least it's pretty fast paced. I found Legado's offense to be really exciting in this match more than MSK's. I'm waiting for someone to counter their like backflip thing.
Yeah.
By just pushing. Like one of them pushes them and the other just pushes them back. And he just lands in between, but that would take a lot of practice, I feel. I'm sure they've done it in Impact, like.
But. Now, I like Bronson Reed stepping up to Santos Escobar, taking him out at the end of the match. I like that. Little things like that.
6-man tonight? I feel like there's almost certainly a 6-man tonight.
And I assume that they'll do maybe not tonight, but down the line very shortly, because it looks like they don't have anything planned yet. I assume it's going to be Ciampa and Thatcher versus GYV for number one contendership. They'll probably do that tonight if I had to guess. MSK did get booed again. That was very strange. For some reason,
I don't get it. I love them. I don't care.
Is it because they smoke pot in Florida? Is that the thing? Is it a problem?
Do people smoke pot? Should they smoke meth instead? What is the preferred bath salts? I don't know.
Tell us the drug of choice and they will oblige. I don't know. The match went really quickly. Like they were working at fast pace, but things weren't standing out for me. Maybe I have to go back and watch it again because there was nothing there that really stood out. It was a good match, but not a memorable match to me.
Yeah, that's strong moments, but it wasn't amazing.
What was memorable was LA Knight and Jake Atlas. Yeah. First of all, we knew Jake Atlas would win. Come on. First of all, Jake Atlas.
I'm
Jake
very
Jake
pleased
can't lose.
that they did that. I was not expecting it at all.
Really? Atlas has been on a losing. Well, he's been winning, but losing.
He's getting time. He's progressing. I didn't think he'd go over LA Knight, but
we had a distraction finish anyway because out come Cameron Grimes, and now LA Knight is a foil to Cameron Grimes, as we know, and it's good because they're both so damn goofy and so damn good in the ring.
Really love it. And they're competing for old Daddy DiBiase's love.
Tonight, Ted DiBiase has an announcement, and I'm sure there's $1 million title at stake because LA Knight and Cameron Grimes should be announced for In Your House.
Oh, yeah. Very excited for this match.
Now, I want to go back to Atlas for a sec. He has a great moveset. He has a great look. He's going to make a mark for himself once that opening kind of clears up for him because remember, a certain Isaiah Swerve Scott had to take some time, taking L's, having not so meaningful stories until he got to Rough and found himself a way in. Speaking of which, Swerve and Killian Dane are going to go at it tonight. After last week's parking lot altercation, are Drake and Dane the new tag team gatekeepers? Is that what's going on in NXT? What do you think?
I mean, we still have Breezango, so why would we need a new set?
Oh, that's upsetting and true.
It is true and sad, and I hate it, but it is true.
Is Swerve is he just here to get over a big man and then move up and make himself look better when he faces off against Bronson Reed after Santos Escobar doesn't win the title first?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can see Swerve winning tonight, right? So.
Yeah, I can see Swerve making it look like, oh my God, he beat a big man. Can he beat a bigger man? for the North American title. Again, Santos Escobar, I still think he should be the North American title, but that's just me. Ember Moon's going to call out. Oh, what do you got?
No, I see. It's going to be Bronson Reed, Santos. I don't see Santos taking it just yet. Maybe they do a multi-month thing, and he could take. I don't know. He just came off like a long-ish program. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess we'll find out tonight. Drake and Dane. Yeah. I mean, Dane and Swerve. Ember Moon's going to call out Raquel Gonzalez. They've got a match at In Your House. One thing that was really cool about last week's episode of NXT was the amount of like craziness that was going on once Cole showed up. There was a half hour there where things were just chaotic and no one could keep track of anybody. Ember Moon comes walking out, challenges Raquel Gonzalez. We have a big fight, and then Dakota Kai comes in and does her thing. And tonight we're going to see Ember Moon take on Dakota Kai. So Ember Moon is a solid wrestler, very good, much shorter than Raquel Gonzalez, who is probably going to be put over in this match. Any expectations for Dakota Kai and Ember Moon as we march forward to Raquel and Ember?
I mean, obviously Ember's going over
tonight.
Unless Dakota, they just do a beatdown. But
I could see that.
Yeah.
We see these little things. They're getting better at kind of like getting.
I can't predict it as easily sometimes, so it's good.
I'm fine with not knowing all the beats.
Oh yeah, same.
Speaking of people who get beat, Zeta Ramir and Zoe Stark teamed up,
paying them dues.
Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, sure, cool. I was shocked to see Zoe Stark lose, but Zeta Ramir ate the pin. So
yeah, very. Cool. It had to happen that way. So it was like, oh yeah, okay.
Double team finish. I'm into it. The way is cool. I like it.
It's good stuff. And the indie Dexter story continues.
There's a much bigger story than that. Actually, there's one more before we get to that bigger story. Indy is listening to that music on her noise headphones, the 80s power ballads. They made that song for that.
It wasn't anything?
Not a song.
That's very funny. That's funny.
I went lyric hunting. I went sound hounding. I went looking. Nothing.
You know what? Why pay for rights for something that is so easily reproducible?
I was very happy when I figured that out. I was just like, oh, that's so cool. They actually invested a little money. And then they fired the guy who usually does a bunch of music. But anyway. So the bigger story, speaking of music, is that tonight, the return of Triple H's illegitimate daughter, Poppy.
Yeah, the return of combat enthusiast Poppy. Like what? the fact that they're like, Poppy returns, and she's only ever been on like the start of the show, and has she said words on NXT before? Because there were a few appearances I didn't see. Okay.
She's so her done like press about NXT and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't watch the press. So I don't give a shit.
I'll tell you probably don't watch the bump either, because Candice LeRae called out Poppy on the bump and on Twitter this past
Is Poppy going to wrestle?
I don't think so. But Poppy did reply to Candice. So we're working here. We're doing something. I expect Candice LeRae to interfere during Poppy's presentation, concert, whatever she's doing. I'm into it.
I realized that they mentioned she was Grammy nominated, and she was nominated for I Disagree for the metal performance.
Yep. So Poppy the wrestler is a maybe. Io Shirai returning, another maybe. Do you see Saray and Io teaming up?
Yeah, there's so many people. We also have Frankie Monet to do something at some point.
Got to. Is there anything else that's on the docket for tonight with them? I'm going to look at it right now while you talk.
She can sass Poppy. That's like I don't know.
Frankie's sassing Poppy. Oh, I'd love that so
much. That would be a very weird interaction, and I would love to see it.
The five men have a thing. They're going to have a face-off.
The face-off.
Yes. I don't know what they're going to face off about.
They surgically remove each other's faces and swap it around so that it's truly no one can fully prepare for the other. I don't know.
Whose face looks best on whom?
They should remake that movie. I would be down with a new face-off.
It's an awful movie.
It's an awful great movie.
Join our Discord. We're going to talk about NXT live as it happens. I swear to God. We got 10 minutes left, Tim.
Oh, wow. No, we got to talk about something. What do we talk about?
We could talk about the NWA.
Oh, yeah. That might fill 10 minutes.
Probably not. You know what? So tonight on Power with multiple R's, they announced that there's going to be an all-women's pay-per-view on August the 28th, and on the 29th, they're going to do the NWA 73rd anniversary pay-per-view. Cool. What's more interesting to me is that they're doing the all-women's pay-per-view. They have 5 women on the roster, as Dan had pointed out in our Discord server. They're probably going to bring in more because you've got, Mickie James. I was about to say Nick Aldis's wife. I meant to say Mickie James Aldis. She is going to be the executive producer of the show. Believe me, being associated with Aldis is not a good thing. Anyway, Mickie is the executive producer of the show. She's friends with Gail Kim. She basically does the Knockouts division for Impact.
Yeah,
She's
Gail was
Maria Kanellis, who's running point for Women of Honor.
Has she wrestled?
She used to. She doesn't now. Now she's full-time mom and doing stuff with ROH. There's a lot of stuff that's going on.
Victoria almost certainly.
Victoria wrestling maybe. She
seemed real hungry to wrestle, and WWE wasn't gonna really pick her.
Well, that was a while ago. I'm seeing in the chat that they brought in Lady Frost for NWA. It was god awful though. Lady Frost was good, but the match was awful. She had a match with Taryn Terrell, and Taryn Terrell leaves the ring, goes over to the announcer, and is like, I don't want to wrestle tonight. I don't feel like wrestling tonight. And then she gets back in the ring and she rolls up Lady Frost and took the 3 count. So Lady Frost is also working Impact, so she'll probably be in that whatever all women's pay-per-view is, Lady Frost. Anyway, Camille is the new NWA Women's Champion. Don't know how I feel about that. Serena Deeb took one look at working NWA for real and was like, no, we're good. Don't worry.
I'm gonna go back to AEW.
I will drop this title mercilessly. Here you go, Camille. There's not much going on in the NWA. Nobody cares about the NWA, Tim. I don't know what to tell you anymore.
I just love making my friend feel uncomfortable because he's a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan. And he really doesn't love that he likes wrestling.
Did you tell him that today's the greatest day you've ever known?
No, I did not.
I could feel our viewership dropping. Friends.
It's proportionate with my energy.
Pretty much. Friends, like I said, go to our Discord. It's in the comment section. Leave a thumbs up on this here video. Leave a comment. Tell your friends about us. Because I swear to God, we normally do an hour. But let's face it, this week, there was only so much to us. So, Tim, where can the kids find you on the internet?
At Tim Stone P, TIMBSTONEP on Twitter. Now would be the time to do the shtick I did on Sunday. Drag out how long I say the name, but no, you got it.
You can do it again.
No, we're not going
to. We are at Tim and Joel Pod on Twitter, on Instagram. Yes, we're on Instagram too. We're on Facebook for some reason.
I don't know why.
We'll get there. It's fine. Okay. And we're also, of course, on our Discord server. It's in the description below you. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Join the channel because guess what? We're going to talk about NXT tonight. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, I am at Joel Pearl. That's JOELPEARL. I will see y'all for SmackPack, noon Eastern. Enjoy your wrestling. Good night.